missteps and setbacks. But as soldiers always do, they just keep marching on. Loyal to flag and country, constitution and democracy, so that when bells for them are rung and their last taps is sung, generations will see our country free.
Welcome to the show, General Jose Faustino Jr., the Armed Forces Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Andres Centino, Army Commanding General, Vice Admiral Eda Luis Bordado, the Navy Flag Officer in Command, and Major General Arthur Cordura, Air Force Acting Commanding General. And there is a fifth guest on the show, the static displays behind us, the latest military hardware in the arsenal of the Armed Forces, which we will show up close to you, our viewers, a little later on in this show. In the meantime, let's begin with this, General Faustino. Let's talk about the move from internal security operations to external or territorial defense. The armed forces, of course, moving from ISO to external defense. Why must this get done? And is this because the threats are changing and soon they will no longer be unconventional threats?
Yes, you're right, Pia. The threats are really changing, especially now that we have gained so much in our counterinsurgency campaign. And with the LCAC in full motion, that we are now able to address our internal security problems. And with that, for almost 5 decades now, we have really progressed in our campaign, and it's now time for us to really look into what's happening in our external territories. And as it is right now, we have a lot of changes when it comes to the threats that we are confronting with in the West Philippines particularly. That's why we really have to address our external defense, and with that, we really have to go into modernization.
But General Faustino, let's break down ISO even further. Let's talk about the battle versus communist guerrillas and local terrorists. First, the New People's Army. You say that they're decimated. Are they really, and what led to that? You mentioned the LCAC already, so the NTF LCAC, no? This whole-of-government approach, ito ba yung sinasabi ninyo that is responsible for this?
Yeah.
Although it has come under a lot of criticism also.
Yeah. Ngayon, Pia, dahil nga sa nakakita tayo ng naging game changer kasi yung LCAC. Sinabi mo maraming bumabatikos, pero sa totoo lang ito ay naging game changer, itong EO-70, National Task Force LCAC. And with that, it became like a whole of government at the start, that it became a whole of nation approach ang nangyari. So lahat ng agencies, lahat ng local chief executives, lahat ng local government units at ang private sector ay aboard doon sa ating all-of-nation approach. And ito yung talagang nakatulong para pabagsakin yung insurgency.
General Andy Centino, CGPA, it just recently an NPA leader, George Madlos Caores, killed in Bukidnon. You say this was an encounter. The other side says otherwise. How significant is he in the NPA High Command? And
yeah, for several years, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, in the area of Mindanao, we have the Eastern Mindanao Command, and we have the 4th Infantry Division.